What we're talking about here is Bradley having a need, the team doctor supporting that, an expert opinion giving their opinion that actually this is the medication that should be required. That then has gone to the authorities. The authorities say, yes, we agree with you, and here's the certificate for you to be able to use that medication. I think in that sense, for me, from my point of view, I've got sort of trust in that process and the integrity of that process. It's not one person on their own. It's not the rider who can choose on their own, not the doctor who can choose on their own. They have to have permission to do that and seek permission, and they were granted permission.
So initially, was it the doctor, the Team Sky doctor, Richard Freeman, or was it the specialist that Sir Brad went to see that came up with that suggestion for triamcinolone after he initially had been taking inhalers?
Well, the nuances of all that's exactly what the discussion happened when and where. 5 or 6 years ago, I can't say that I can't exactly pinpoint that, but what I do know is that I've seen the reports from the specialist which quite clearly states that Bradley is suffering from a condition. He quite clearly states that the medication that he was taking at the time was being used optimally and was ineffective, and that he recommended that Bradley then was given this particular medication to alleviate his symptoms. And I think when I read that, I've got no reason to question the validity or the decision making of a professional of that stature. And then it goes to the authorities and they come back and grant that.
But it was applied for conveniently, neatly, just before Grand Tours in 3 consecutive years. So effectively it was preventative, right?
Well, I think we've got to be...
It wasn't coincidence, obviously, it was preventative. He was taking it in case...
Well, let's be clear about that, because a lot of TUEs in sport, in general, are for asthma sufferers or pollen and allergic reactions, etc. And the whole nature of that is you don't wait until you're really suffering asthma. You have a puffer beforehand to make sure that you don't have that problem. And in this case, I think it's a similar situation. If somebody has a medical need, this isn't a need, or we're not using this to enhance performance. This is for a medical need which is recognised by a specialist, which is recognised by the doping authorities who grant the permission to use that for that particular need. Then I think there's an integrity in that process, and I have trust in that process.